morning and welcome to Market Opening on our collab show between Business Today and India Today TV. Just after 9, let's get you all the news you need to know before we head into Market Opening. Let's take a look at the headlines. Non-agri commodities market set for a big push. SEBI to constitute a working group to review the derivative segment in the space. The capital markets regulator is also engaging with the RBI and the pension regulator to allow banks and insurance companies to participate in the commodity derivatives market. Dalal Street turns into one of the calmest stock markets in the world, with the VIX crashing to an all-time low on Friday. Reports say this is bad news for derivative traders who thrive on sharp swings, with SEBI clamping down on retail F&O trade and turnover down 35% from last year. Trading desks are being pushed to rethink their entire playbook. Indian Railways hike fares just a little more than a month before the union budget. In its second hike this fiscal, fares raised by up to 2 paise per kilometre for AC classes in all express and mail trains. Railways to gain 600 crore from the hike, which comes into effect this Friday. Deportations from the US set to explode next year, with the Trump administration pouring in massive amounts to fund ICE and Border Patrol. Officials say thousands of agents are to be hired, new detention centers are to be opened, and outside parties are to be roped in to track down illegal immigrants. Wall Street closes higher, with Nasdaq gaining 1.3% as traders look to tech for a year-end rally. Asia-Pacific markets rise following China's decision to keep loan prime rates unchanged. Silver hits a record high and gold poised for weekly gains on rate cut expectations. GIFT Nifty suggesting a gap-up start for Indian markets. All right. Let's take a look at all the action in pre-open right now. Just 3-4 minutes to go before we kickstart trade. Overnight cues on Wall Street. Tech rebounding and leading the way there. Asia is also seeing momentum this morning. We'll pull up some of those tech plays for you as well. Give you a sense of really what the market action was looking like over the weekend. And primarily gains all around, with Alphabet and Oracle leading the way in particular. Let's take a look at Asia this morning and see how that's stacking up for you as well. And we'll just pull that up in a second. And in the meanwhile, let's also take a look at what's happening on the F&O side, because that's really something that the markets have been discussing, especially as we count down to open and especially as we've been seeing really flat trade over the last few weeks. Shailendra Bhatnagar joining us this morning, Chief Analyst and Editor Markets, as well as Avinash Gorakhshankar, who's an expert on markets. Morning, both of you. Shail, let's take a look at what's happening on the F&O side. India's no-drama market suddenly becoming a high-stress zone, not for investors, but for derivative traders, which are running out of options, literally, because as domestic money overwhelms foreign flows, the Nifty has moved less than 1.5% for 150 straight sessions, and realized volatility is now lower than in any other major global market. The India VIX is closing at record lows, and a report says that classic option selling strategies are seeing returns evaporate as premiums shrink and traders stop paying for the risk that they carry. So SEBI's big crackdown on speculative retail bets, including scrapping several of those hot weekly options, has actually hit the engine of intraday action and pulled the average daily notional turnover down to about 250 lakh crore rupees. That's a 35% slide from 2024 and the first annual drop since 2017. What do you say about this, Shail?
Well, Aabha, the regulator has killed the hen and the goose and is now wondering why is it not laying eggs. Well, it's very simple. If the regulations are strengthened to a manner which prevent trading, which prevent finding out the correct value of the option price because there is little or no participation, then this is what is going to happen. Trading desks are being wrapped up at many brokerages because there is no volume and there is no participation. What people have also realized is that Jane Street last year had rigged the entire market to its favor, and whoever participated broadly lost, which is 9 out of 10 traders. So why would people put in money there? So index has moved sideways because participation is less, valuations are higher, and that's the result of what you see. Falling option prices, falling wicks, and more importantly, falling volume.
All right, I think it was really important to touch upon that. Let me also bring up the Infi ADR just as we count down to opening, because that saw a massive move on global markets on Friday, and everyone was talking about really what led to that. There have been clarifications that there was really no trigger. It was a bit of a short squeeze coming in. Infi at the moment in pre-open up about 1.5. We'll just take a look as the opening bell kicks in. But keep an eye on Infi this morning. Lots of action on the ADR overnight on Wall Street. A bit of a short squeeze really is what that's been attributed to. All right, opening ticks on your screen. Let's bring them some of those gainers and losers for you. Nifty seeing a gap up as expected. 26,000 back in control there. We've also got the Nifty Bank up today about 0.2%. A little bit of action coming in there. Positive start, and that's nice to see for a change. Shriram Finance and Infi both top of the charts. Infi up 1.5%. Shriram Finance, and we'll talk more about that because we've got a whole host of brokerage views coming in on that counter. Bharti Hindalco continuing their gains. Adani Enterprises also looking good this morning. Let's pull up some more of those gainers for you as well, and it's looking decent this morning. I wouldn't say great, but decent. On the downside, an Asian Paints, a Cipla. Caps, losses are capped really. It's nothing so extensive on the downside, just very, very marginal ticks in the red. Some auto, some finance taking a bit of a breather there is really how I would put it. So opening ticks seem to be decent this Monday. Remember, we're heading into year closing, just 2 weeks to go, and market action is expected to be, volumes are expected to be light, particularly as foreign funds slow down there. So let me just pull up some of the other stocks in news. Infi, as we mentioned, that was essentially no major trigger on the ADR. There was a 40% surge in the ADR on Friday, a bit of a short squeeze there. In terms of advance decline this morning, clearly we are seeing a bit of green and a skew towards the advances. Infi continuing to climb in the opening ticks. In fact, it's up almost 3% right now. Strong start on the index. Let's see if some of that action on tech is rubbed off on any of the other IT names, and just pull up a whole host of the other IT stocks just to see if we're seeing gains all around or not, or if it's just specific to an Infi this morning. Let's pull that up for you and take a look. Wipro's up about 1.5%. And let's pull up some of the banks and see where the gains are coming in, what's quiet, and what's actually seeing a spot of green this morning as well, because banking and finance will continue to be in focus as well. Shell, what are you tracking?
Well, Aabha, the entire market, there has been a very nice breakout after a very long while on the Nifty. So 26,050 was a most crucial resistance that's been taken out by the bulls. Across the board, there are breakouts happening. If you look at the Nifty 500, the small cap index, the mid cap 150 index, in terms of sectors, auto, IT, metals, all of doing pretty well. About 1,900 shares in the green, 500 in the red, all 19 indices in the green, and a lot of strength coming back into silver. Well, 2,13,000 rupees per kilo, fresh record high, and therefore Hindustan Zinc. Strong move coming into GE Vernova TND India. Apart from that, Hind Copper is looking good, above 400. And of course, you have strength coming into DB Realty, Apar Industries, Olectra, so on and so forth. Aabha.
All right, Avinash, good morning. Good to have you with us. Let me get your perspective on, as we're winding down the year, metals, of course, continue to be in focus. Lots of action all around there. Hindustan Copper, Zinc, so on. But what else are you tracking in these last couple of weeks? And also the same question on the F&O side to you as well, as investors kind of re-strategize in how to deal with that part of the market.
Yeah, good morning, Aabha. I think clearly, I think as the year closes, I think we're going to see a lot of action on the IT side, on the financial side, and on the banking side. I think these are sectors which are going to, share the limelight in the new year also. And I think clearly markets are now looking at Q3 numbers, the December quarter numbers, which would be out in the first or second week of January. That would be the near-term trigger for the market. And as far as the F&O side is concerned, as Shale mentioned, the regulator has put in strict policies to curtail trading. And I think the participation has reduced considerably. So I think this clearly shows that, the markets are lackluster on the trading side. A lot of retail traders are out of the market, and I think this is not a good sign. There should be decent liquidity in particularly FNO stocks, which provides a decent amount of liquidity to the market. So I think net we'll have to see how this change undergoes, because clearly retail traders are now completely missing all the action.
Absolutely. Talking about IT, Avinash, of course, we've clarified that the ADR action was not on the back of a trigger, but still want to pull up an infy this morning for you. It's still up over 2%. And some of the tech action overnight on Wall Street perhaps playing out, across tech this morning as well. What are your top picks and infy in particular, if I could get a call from you?
So I think Infosys, our sense is that Q3 could be a stable quarter, since December is normally a kind of a holiday season for most of the clients. But I think the January to March quarter should be a strong quarter. And I think clearly within the IT pack, we continue to be, positive on larger players like HCL Tech, TCS, Coforge. I think after the Q2 performance, Aabha, I would not be surprised that Q3 is going to be equally strong. In fact, the bigger trigger for them is the US trade deal. Once that happens, a lot of US deals which are there in the pipeline could get culminated into actual deals for these IT companies. So we remain constructive here from a 6 to 12 month horizon.
All right, let me pull up Grow for you. We've got Jefferies initiating a coverage saying buy, citing strong client growth, rapid product expansion, margin potential. The brokerage expects robust earnings growth driven by new offerings and a strategy similar to Robinhood's scalable product-led model. That's Grow for you, and Grow is up about 16-17% in a week, and a very, very strong move coming in today in particular. Even if it's a new listing, Avinash, but just on the pure capital market play, would you look at something like a Grow bullishly, or perhaps have alternative ideas?
No, I think we continue to be positive on Grow. See, Grow is one of the largest online, broking players. And I think clearly, the team is young, dynamic. They've used technology to, drive their growth. Going forward, they're looking at wealth management. So I think we continue to be positive on Grow at the current level, provided, the investor has a medium to long-term horizon. But given the capital market space, stocks like NSDL also, Aabha, looks pretty interesting. Once the upturn in the markets happen, you're going to see NSDL also being a big beneficiary.
Okay, keep an eye on NSDL then. Let's pull that one up for you. There you go. And also, we've got a few other newsmakers. GE Vernova T&D is surging. They've won a really large order, an AESL HVDC project order. So that's up about 10%. Let me just bring that one up for you so you can take a look at GE Vernova T&D. And as well as that, but talking about orders, I think KEC International has also said that the High Court has stayed the PGCIL order, excluding the company from tenders for about 9 months. So that means KEC can continue to participate in ongoing bids, and KEC International is also moving quite nicely this morning. I think the chart wasn't reflecting the move on GE Vernova, but that one's spiraling away this morning. A whole host of brokerage upgrades coming in on Shriram Finance as well. I just want to take you through that because that's important. Let me pull that one up for you. We've got everyone from a Kotak Institutional to a Jefferies to a Nomura, all giving you buy calls on Shriram Finance. We're looking at anywhere from 990 to 1,080 to 1,140, respectively from each of those brokerages. Avinash, what do you think is realistic on a Shriram Finance? It's right now at 925.
No, I think my sense is a price more than 1,050, 1,100 looks very much possible. And I think, this is a very good sign for the NBFC sector. Clearly, I think that means that the NBFC entire space is going to remain vibrant. Our sense is that, investors who have a slightly longer term call, say 12 to 15 months, can even accumulate at the current odd levels, considering the kind of now new developments and the kind of growth trajectory the company plans to make in the next, say, 12 to 15 months. So I think it's a buy on dip for us.
Okay, so continued buy coming in on Shriram Finance. Shell, let me come back to you, check in on what you're tracking. How are rail stocks reacting to the news of a hike in prices? We do have Morgan Stanley on Titagarh Rail, but they're just equal weight on that one, talking about freight playing a role in earnings going forward.
Well, Aabha, those are, sectoral reports that keep on coming on time. All of these stocks, RVNL, Rights, Titagarh, Jupiter Wagons have corrected very, very sharply. So maybe they're finding some value there. But that's not where the market is interested in. Look at IRFC, that's doing pretty well. IRCTC in top shape. These are stocks that have corrected 30, 40, 50% from their all-time highs that we saw about 1 year ago. So this is value buying happening, and of course we are showing all signs of a pre-budget rally also taking hold. You have about 30-35 trading sessions left for the budget, and something on railways expected. So keep an eye out on railway stocks, in particular RITES, IRCTC and IRFC. Those charts are showing signs of strength, as also wagon makers, all three of them, Texrail, Titagarh and of course Jupiter Wagons.
Okay, so let's come back to the two pockets that the market is focusing on, and that's IT and financials. Shell, from the financials, what else is seeing traction? Shriram Finance, we know, is on everyone's list, and that's been a recurring favorite. But where else are we seeing some amount of activity building up?
I would say banks. Look at the entire private banking basket, and you'll see winners emerging. In particular, Federal Bank. This is something that needs to be looked into for two reasons. One, of course, there is a private banking rally happening, plus the fact that Federal Bank has a very large gold financing portfolio down south. And gold, as we all know, is doing phenomenally well. You just have to look at Muthoot Finance to see how gold's sheen is rubbing off on the stock, and therefore Federal Bank. Lots of mutual funds have raised their stake in Federal Bank. This is something that I was observing over the weekend. So this is a stock that you can look into, and of course lots of strength coming back into IT, in particular HCL Tech, Wipro, Tech Mahindra from the mid-cap space. Tata Elxsi looks good. So that's what traders are looking at.
All right, thanks, Shell. Avinash, coming back to some of those financials, where would you put your bets right now? And it's a good time perhaps to get in if we're anticipating some amount of a pickup in the new year.
No, I think PSU banks look interesting. I think something like a Canara Bank, a Punjab National Bank or a State Bank of India. And I think within the NBFCs, we continue to be positive on Shriram Finance, Bajaj Finance. See, these are all strong structural bets based on the fact that Q3 is going to be a very strong quarter in terms of consumption, and that is going to drive a lot of credit demand. So I think Q3 is going to be good, and I think the Jan to March quarter should also be a strong quarter. So I think, looking at the kind of underperformance in the PSU banks, I would still bet on the PSU banks I mentioned. Of course, ICICI Bank looks interesting, but within the PSU banks, you're getting good value at current levels.
All right, Avinash, thanks so much for joining us. I just want to mark the currency as well. Remember, last week we saw a slide to 91 pretty much. We're currently just about 89, shy of 90. So there has been some amount of appreciation on the currency, but just want to mark that for you, given the fact that we saw those massive, that massive depreciation and record lows on the rupee last week. That's all for us on the show this morning, but we want to leave you with San Francisco's big tech experiment hitting a very real-world speed bump. A massive power blackout yesterday shut down nearly a third of the city and left dozens of Waymo driverless robo-taxis frozen at intersections, hazard lights blinking while human drivers tried to squeeze past. Waymo had to suspend its robo-taxi service across the Bay Area, even as Tesla's running full self-driving kept moving through the darkened streets, turning the outage into a live stress test of two rival visions of autonomy. For regulators and city planners everywhere, including in India, the pictures are a warning. If the grid goes down, infra-dependent robo-taxis can turn from future of mobility to an instant traffic hazard. As San Francisco slowly powered back up, the global debate now is whether cities are anywhere near ready for fleets of fully driverless taxis, or whether the tech has raced ahead of basic urban resilience. From overnight global cues to live Dalal Street moves, we decode what matters for your money today. From stocks to sectors to the top business news, we've got your morning game plan covered. Watch me, Aabha Bakaya, as I bring you the opening bell action Monday to Fridays, 9:05 a.m. only on India Today.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to you on this wonderful start to the week on Monday. A gap up followed by fresh buying. Nifty has comfortably crossed 26,100, overcoming a very stiff resistance at 26,080, 26,050, and beyond that, there is a lot of activity also expected on the long side. Remember, there are being bullish crossovers in all major index, the mid cap 150, the small cap 250, the NSE 500, and among sectors across the board, whether it's consumption led sectors, auto, IT, you have a lot of strength coming into metals. Look at Hindustan Zinc, well above 604 now. The silver price crossing 2,13,000 rupees a kilo, and Hindustan Zinc being the top producer of silver in the country, benefiting from that rally. Apart from that, the advanced decline ratio is very strong. The Nifty Bank 283 points higher, Nifty IT index 400 points higher. You have strength coming in across the board. Look at the very strong advanced decline ratio that is in the market. 2,150 shares in the green, 460 in the red. So it's a very easy 5:1 kind of an advanced decline ratio on the start of the week, and therefore the build up to Christmas, the build up to the broader markets is in way. Remember, this week is a truncated holiday because of Christmas, therefore only 4 trading sessions, and all 19 indices are in the green, led by, no surprise, the metals index 1.6% higher, 10,686. Stocks that are hitting record highs in the market are fairly substantial. Look at the move that is coming in on National Aluminium, 2.4% higher, Ashok Leyland 2.2% higher, Shriram Finance fresh record high, 2% higher, Hindalco, Vedant, and of course India Cements, Laurus Labs, and Federal Bank. These are the stocks that have hit fresh peaks in the morning, and very strong volume is coming into stocks such as wagon makers, Jupiter Wagons in particular, KSB Pumps 4.5% higher, GE Vernova T&D has just won a very big order, the stock 8% higher, and of course strength coming into RITES from the railway space, Force Motors doing pretty well, 3.8% higher, and of course a strong move coming into all tech stocks, Infosys, Emphasis, Wipro, TCS, and Tech Mahindra, to name a few. That's what the market is at this point of time. We are waiting for Vaishali Parekh to join us from Prabhudas Leeladhar. She's the VP for Technical Research and Analysis. But at this point of time, ladies and gentlemen, the underlying change in sentiment is getting reflected in the market, whether it's a sector, whether it's a major index, all of them are showing signs of turning around. That's because of a sideways market for a very long time, and of course the build up to the budget, which is now on 1st of Feb. So about 30 odd trading sessions that are left in the budget, and therefore you see moves coming into the railway stocks, RITES, IRCTC, Concor. Of course, wagon makers on expectations of good shows coming in. That's how it is, ladies and gentlemen, at this point of time. Let's show some other stocks that are into good gains. You see KEC International 4.4% higher, KEI Industries 3.9% higher. You have strength coming into HBL Engines. This is again the maker of Kavach, and therefore a play on railways. You have Hindustan Copper crossing 400 in early morning trade, now 2.3% higher. Cable stocks are doing extremely well, 2.5% higher on RR Kabel. You have a smattering of stocks from the defense space doing good. Look at Garden Reach, 2.2% higher at 2348. Let's see if Vaishali is with us. I'm just checking with PCR if Vaishali has joined. Okay. A very good morning to you, Vaishali. A quick view on the Nifty.
I think think today we are seeing a euphoric move and good strength. So we are waiting for Nifty to move past 26,300 levels decisively to welcome the next projected targets. And we are all hoping that it should happen. So we look forward to 29,000. So this is of course a long-term view, but for this week, I would say we have elevated our support levels to 25,800 and 26,600 should be the next target.
Okay. Any important stocks that find mention on the charts which are looking good?
Well, yes, overall we are seeing participation coming almost from all stocks. But right now, as I am looking at the screen, I think Bharat Forge is one of the stocks which is getting into a good trend. And we have an open target of around 1,500 levels. Likewise, even Samarthan Motherson has given a breakout and it's sustaining well above that. So these two stocks have a very good strong trend along with the other stocks as well. So well, two stocks, auto sector continues to shine. So and metal, of course, is doing very well. So, but these two stocks still have a good long-term upside potential.
Okay. Aabha joins us. Aabha, over to you.
Okay, so within metals, Vaishali, should we run through some of the top movers? We've got Hindustan Zinc, Copper, Nalco. I know we've been talking about some of these names, Vedanta. What would be your top picks?
Well, so all these have been our recommendations and we continue to stay bullish. So for example, Hindustan Copper, we are now looking at a target of 420 to start with. Vedanta, Hindalco, all have done well. But I would look at now SAIL because Steel Authority of India, that is lagging behind. This stock has just not participated. So if for a new entry, I would definitely consider this with a stop loss of 124. This needs to cross the hurdle of 132, 133. And if it does, then it would go towards a target of 145. So this is the stock as a new entry that I would consider.
9:36, ladies and gentlemen, the market gets stronger and stronger. The first 20-25 minutes of trade have lapsed, and the 15-minute candle on the Nifty is now signifying strength. The index itself was above 21 DMA on Friday itself, so that strong close on Friday and a gap up today is being followed up with further buying. Now, what is it because of? Well, only time will tell, but for the moment we are enjoying this bounce, and this is a large cap, small cap, mid cap sectoral rally that is taking root, and that needs to be appreciated because it's high time that this thing happened. People have been waiting with bated breath for the market to react, but nothing of that sort has happened. Look at the move that is coming in the small cap index, 0.5% higher. This is the small cap 100 that I'm talking about. Out of 100 shares, 70 are in the green. The mid cap index, the mid cap select index, and of course the broader NSE 500 are all in the gains. Let's see what happens. But on Friday's close, lots of sectors and lots of indices in particular showed bullish crossovers where prices closed for the better over the weekend. The weekend close I'm talking about. And that is what is being followed up in the market. Laurus Labs, fresh record high, 1,060. A view, Vaishali, on Laurus Labs?
Yeah. So I think this has been one of the outperforming stock as far as the pharma sector is concerned, and it still continues to do well. So I think this stock has a potential of going towards 1100 levels, though it is in an overbought zone. But I would continue to have a positive view. I would not recommend a fresh buy, but yes, to those who are holding, should continue holding with a trailing stop loss and look for 1100 as target.
Okay, a whole host of newsmakers. We've got Genova T&D up on order wins, that's up 10%. KEC on the court removing that that order and allowing it to continue to participate in ongoing bids and tenders. So that's also buzzing. We've got KEI moving as well. So a whole host of these names. Grow on a brokerage upgrade. Shriram Finance, of course, on brokerage upgrades. So some of these names, rail stocks are in news today. Vishali, from some of these newsmakers, which one catches your eye? Pick out of the basket.
Also, grow was a recommendation, in fact, from our side last week itself. So we still feel that it has got good upside potential. So this is one of the stocks, and I would definitely not overlook the real stocks for as far as trading strategy is concerned. So overall, we are seeing good pickup coming in Jupiter Wagons, Titagar. So yes, this sector also is not worth missing out.
Phoenix Mills, ladies and gentlemen, and in particular MCX. MCX is something that I'd like to mark in great detail. Fresh record high, needless to say. The exchange where all commodities are traded, and whether you make money on buying or selling silver or not, but it's traded on the MCX, and for every trade that you do, MCX earns that very tiny bit. So that is what needs to be looked at as far as the stock performance is concerned, and of course it's heading into a split 5:1 on the early part of Jan. That's a stock that you need to look at, and of course strength coming into Jupiter Wagons, now 10% higher. I think the circuit on Jupiter Wagons is 20, and the stock is moving after months and months. Vaishali, what are the charts of Jupiter Wagons telling you?
So yes, this is showing signs of reversal. We have seen the stock beaten down quite a bit, and today with a gap up opening, I think it shows that yes, it looks favorable for an upside potential of 330, 340. So I would say 260 as the stop loss and buy the stock for a target of 340.
What did you make of the move on Infi, Vaishali, with the ADR spiking overnight? Stock is still moving today. Were you watching that kind of volatility on Infi?
Well, I was not expecting such a move, but yes, we were conservatively, giving calls on the IT sector. But now that you see overall, and Infi, of course, is showing a lot of strength. So yes, to those who have bought it at lower levels, it's a treat. This can go towards 1700 level, 1750.
$9.41, ladies and gentlemen. The mood is fairly bullish on Dalal Street. Nifty being ably helped by the IT index, the Nifty Bank, and of course the broader market now moving in strength. Look at the move that's happening on Bharti Airtel. Look at the move that's happening on AU Bank. This is also a stock that is moving up in trade, and of course Tata Steel. Tata Steel is something that I'd like to discuss with Vaishali. Within the metal space, we've discussed Hind Zinc and Hind Copper. Of course, National Aluminium, Hindalco record highs. View on the ferrous side, the steel side, Vaishali, Tata Steel.
Tata Steel again is, of course, showing signs of improvement. We saw this stock bottoming out at 160, currently making higher bottom, again sitting on a cluster of moving averages. So I would say near-term basis 167 should act as a support, and near-term target resistance also would be 176. If we see the stock moving above 176, we see a further upside potential coming in.
Okay, well, Shriram Finance continuing to go from strength to strength. They also have a press conference later today to talk about some deal buzz, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Got GMR Airports up a little bit after JM Financial has initiated a buy coverage, so that's on GMR Airports for you. Let's bring that up as well. And Apollo Microsystems has gotten the DRDO nod for two tech transfers with regards to laser-based weapons and EO tracking system. So that's why that one is up as well, about 4-5% right now. From the auto pack, Vaishali, I wanted to get a sense on some of the auto ancillaries, whether it's tires, whether it's component manufacturers, whether you anticipate seeing some amount of an up move coming in there. We've been hearing about it for a while, but do you expect to see any kind of major traction building up in that pocket?
Yes, definitely, Aabha. If you see, especially if you talk about the tire stocks, I mean, JK Tires has given a breakout. So about 475, it's sustaining. I think as a long-term hold also, when I'm looking at the weekly chart, it's ready to go towards 650 levels. We spoke about Samvardhan, that too has given a breakout. So I think Samvardhan with 115 as support, near-term support. This can do around 140 or so. The other stock to my liking, which I feel currently is quite promising at these levels, is JBM Auto. So that's where I'm looking at, and I think right from a decent correction, right from 750 levels, consolidating at 550. Now, Friday's candle also with good volume. So I think there should be a follow-up buying seen in this. So having said that, once this moves above 590, it could give a good breakout for higher targets of 650, 660. So this is one of the stocks for a fresh buy that I would consider.
9:44, ladies and gentlemen. We'll call it a day here. Lots of activity in the defense space after many months. Whether it will last, only time will tell. But 0.5% higher on HAL. Garden Reach 2.5% higher. Cochin Shipyard 1.5% higher. BEML, BEL and BDL showing signs of strength as well. Vaishali, a view from BEL before on BEL before we let you go.
Yes, so BEL, very strong trend, new round of momentum setting in, good consolidation at 380 levels. We spoke about BEL, the screen is showing BDL. So I think BEL is a buy with support of 380. This stock needs to move above 410, 420. We would be then looking at 460 as the next target. So I think risk reward ratio is also favorable to make a good buy at these levels.
Right. Vaishali, thanks so much for joining us. We'll leave it there for now. We'll continue
Pleasure.
to track the markets for you. But a good start this Monday. A little bit different on the screen to what we've been seeing the last couple of weeks. Let's hope it stays that way. Thanks so much for watching.